Hey there guys, how you going? So if you've seen the Twitter announcement, or if you're watching this by the time that's already come out, we just got the announcement that we'll be having 2 new falling price deals added into the game this afternoon, or this evening, depending on where you are, I suppose. So the return of Illustrated Xion is here, which is very, 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 very cool. If you didn't have an Illustrated, I've talked these medals to death, but obviously the value of Illustrated Kyrie and Illustrated Xion EX cannot be understated, and it's pretty much mandatory that you have at least one of them these days to be competitive, period. So if you don't have one now, this is a great chance to get one. I want you to cast your mind back to, I remember the last time Illustrated Xion came around, and it was a falling price deal, and I calculated how much you'd need to get to Mercy her, and I said, if you don't have enough to get her right now, this could be a very tough decision, but it might be the right one. You may want to not do any pulls for her at all, and keep saving until the next time she rolls around, which is now, and then hopefully you have enough jewels to Mercy pull her by then. If you did that, and you would have had to have an absolute iron will, but if you did that, then congratulations, because it seems to have paid off for you. Right now we've got the Illustrated Xion banner, which again, do your 20 pulls and you'll be guaranteed to get one copy of her. And if you're able to do that, you're also able to get Axel, the brand new HD Axel EX in the same banner. So what you want to do, if you want to pull for Illustrated Xion, you want to only pull from the banner, like this one right here, with her face on it twice. You want to do your 20 pulls on that. You don't want to go bloody popping around doing one pull each here and there. No. Don't want to do that. What you do want to do, though, is you want to pull off the Illustrated Xion EX banner, and as you do your 20 pulls, you effectively have 20 chances at picking up that brand new HD Axel EX at the same time. That medal is very, very good, and we definitely will talk about that in a second. But again, these kind of banners, I think, should be pulled on not only if, I don't know, if you have Illustrated Kyrie EX but not Illustrated Xion, you might want to consider it, because again, it's very situational, and the fact that you could pull Axel at the same time is very, very nice. It's a really interesting move by Cena, because like, think, maybe I have confirmation bias towards this, but I've seen a lot of people in my Discord, maybe because I'm doing it and talking about it, maybe because that's the decision they've come to on their own, but they tend to be avoiding EX banners just because it seems to get a lot more value out of doing, like, let's say, regular falling price deals with very, very small pulls. Like the last one that we had, you guys saw that I went like a fiend on that and pulled and pulled and pulled. And they typically avoid EX banners. Well, this one is very, very tempting, because it's a somewhat generic EX, which is, it has the beautiful artwork and the fancy effects, but it has, obviously it's got the very, very low pull rate, but you're not really pulling for that. It's almost a bonus, because it's Illustrated Xion that you really, really want here. It's interesting to say the least. So, going forward, we were catching up to the Japanese version like crazy, but now we seem to slow it off a bit. And I wonder if that's Cena like going, we have all these really, really cool medals out there, but do we want people to just skip over them? If we keep rushing, do we want to slow them down and make each one more appealing? It's interesting to say the least, and I'm looking forward to see where this goes in the future. Anyway, so if we do the math, we realize that it's 40,100 jewels to guarantee one copy of Illustrated Xion, or Axel for that matter. And if you do go to Mercy Ball Axel, you have 20 chances at Illustrated Xion, which, depending on how the rates go, that could even be the better banner. But I would definitely take a look at people's Discords for the different pull rates before I go pulling on either one of these, if you are serious about it, because you don't want to miss your chance to Mercy Pull Xion if you don't have Kyrie or Xion. You definitely want to miss your chance. I'm rambling. Let's talk about Axel. Alrighty, so Axel, our brand new Illustrated EX, a brand new HD EX medal. So what it does is it gives you 7 tiers of speed-based strength and 2 tiers of upright strength. This is pretty nice, and it really does synergize nicely with Illustrated Xion EX, and we will talk about that in a second. To the enemy, it deals -2 tiers of general defense debuff, as well as 2 tiers of speed debuff, and actually those are the really appropriate debuffs that synergize very, very nicely with Xion EX. It costs 3, which is pretty standard for an EX medal. It hits all targets, which is very standard for an EX, and is a tier 7, meaning the guilt can go up to 200%. It deals 3 hits, which, if you guys don't know, it's very much a clone of the Master Xehanort EX medal, the, for some reason, VIP exclusive medal in our version of the game. The only difference is that he deals 3 hits, where Master Xehanort deals 5. And Multiplier works very similarly to almost every other EX medal. You deal more damage the more HP that you have, which means you should pretty much be firing off that multiplier towards its maximum almost every time. So if we take a look down the bottom there, if you do guild this medal and get it up to 200%, you're going to be hitting with a 12.54 multiplier, which is very, very, very respectable. I've done something a little bit different here, and I've crafted like an example setup that I would have. So let's say you're got a Mercy Pool Illustrated Xion right now, and it goes really well for you, and you get like one copy of Axel on the way. That could be very, very unlikely, but you know, it could happen to some people. So let's take a peek what that setup might look like. Let's say, come on, what are you doing? Hey, there we go, we've loaded. Let's say you use the missing 8 Keyblade, which is very, very not easy to get, but obviously you just do the Proud mode and you will eventually get it. Let's say you upgrade that thing to level plus 26, which you only need 1 Moonstone to do that, and then all the dark matter that you get from playing Proud mode anyway. Well, you'll just have to choose. Side note, but I think right now in the game, which could be changed very soon, we only have enough dark matter to upgrade 2 out of the 3 Keyblades to plus 25. But I would definitely choose Darknor. I think it's. Sorry, I would definitely choose Missing 8. I think it's probably better than, at the very least, Darknor, where there's nothing really to take advantage of Darknor right now. Anyway. Alright, so let's say you have a setup that looks a little bit like this. So, I might make a setup that looks like this, where we have Illustrated Xion at the front, we have HD Sora in slot 2, HD Antiform Sora, and then we have the brand new Axel EX medal in this slot right here. Now, why would I do that? Okay, let's take a look at the buff economy we've got from just 3 slots. Okay, so by the 3rd slot, we're at maximum strength at plus 7, maximum speed-based strength at plus 7, and 6 out of 7 stages of upright strength at plus 6. Or we also have plus 6 power and magic strength, but that's not super relevant on this Keyblade. To the enemies, all of them are at -7 tiers of general defense and -7 tiers of speed-based defense as well. And again, plus -4 power and magic, which isn't super relevant. But that's pretty much all the buffs we can do in the game right now. I mean, we're literally 1 buff away from the absolute maximum. So all we can really do to improve on that right now is crank out 1 more bit of upright buff, reverse power buff, and even though this buff doesn't exist yet, it will pretty soon, I'm very sure, some reverse debuff, which, who knows, there could be some medals in the future released that are a reverse speed type, that do nice little reverse speed debuffs right there. Reverse power, reverse defense, Jesus Christ, reverse defense debuffs right there. Okay, so, in these 3 slots right here, we've done extremely well, right? So what do we do from here? Well, all we need to do is damage, right? There's literally no more buffs we can get, except for, again, 1 more tier of upright strength right now. So why not hit him as hard as we can? This is just an example, but like, the multiplier on Final Form Xion is still very respectable, and it's only a tier 6, and it still hits very respectively with 11.90 if you have the necessary amount of gauges, which I think is between 8 and 10. Oh, I forgot, but in any case, you should have enough if you've used if you have like maybe a couple of max gauge traits here and there scattered around your Keyblade, and obviously Xion's going to be restoring gauges for you. The only cost you're going to incur up to that point is the -3 from Axel, so you should have a lot of gauges in your Keyblade at that point. And Xion HD hits extremely friggin' hard. Xion hits with a 13.61 multiplier, so if you have multiple copies of that, honestly right now there's no reason not to use a copy here and a copy here, and why not a copy in the pet slot as well? Why not? Because that 13.61 hits so hard, and that activates if it deals more damage the more gauges you've used in this turn. So by that point, you've potentially used 3 here, 4 here, and 4 here, which is quite a lot, and will definitely set that 13.61 multiplier off. So, again, buffs are only as important until you hit the buff cap, and then they're not super important anymore. So for medals like this that don't give you any more useful buffs, well, there are no more buffs you can attain, so you may as well. This is only an example set up, guys. Like, again, there could be tons of better medals coming out in the future, and even right now, for example. But I think, honestly, Xion is one of the strongest medals in the game right now, even though it's not an EX, just because of how stupidly high that multiplier can hit. So I'm really curious, for you guys that already have, let's say you have Kairi EX right now, but you don't have Xion, but you only have, I don't know, let's say 20,000 joules, which means you could do almost 10 pulls. I think you can do exactly 10 pulls if you have roughly 20,000 joules right now. What is your plan? Because, again, the risk factor is really, really high. Like, let's say the rates are really bad to get Xion outside of the Mercy. The rates are really, really bad to get Axel outside of the Mercy. Do you want to go ahead and throw a bunch of joules away on a banner like this, even though those benefits aren't necessarily that great? If you have all 40,000 enough to get Xion, I would definitely say do it if you don't have Xion or Kairi already. It's so... the benefit of that medal cannot possibly be understated. So I think it's definitely worth having if you get the chance. Outside of that, though, I don't know if Axel's worth chasing on its own for regular free-to-play players. Like I said, I have a lot of confirmation bias when it comes to people chasing EX medals because a lot of my followers are free-to-play and are therefore just kind of skipping the EX medals out of necessity. But let me know what you think. I mean, it's a pretty cool medal, but the buffs it gives are good when they work in tandem with other medals, but just standalone, they're not amazing. Like I said, they fit in extremely well with Xion because they patch up, like the defensive debuffs that they do, they patch up her weaknesses, and they give you the upright strength. I keep saying upright. The reverse strength, which she doesn't give you at all. So I'm definitely curious what your guys' opinions are on this banner. Like, I would love to pull for it, and I think if I had 40,000 jewels, I would. But I've only got about 20,000 right now because I've been going like an absolute madman on the last falling price. But that helps me out quite a lot, you know. I'm quite powerful right now, I believe. I think I'm, you know, top 700 in Coliseum, and with a lot further to go, mind you. So, you know, that was the right thing for my game at the time. But if you had like an absolute ironclad will, and you didn't pull for, let's say you pulled for Kari once, maybe twice, maybe even 3 times, and got heartbroken every time, and then you saw Xion come along and you went, no, I'm not pulling until I can guarantee the Mercy, and you didn't pull the first time, didn't pull the second time, and now have enough to Mercy pull it this time, then I salute you, congratulations, your time is now, and I think you deserve to get Axel EX if you did get unlucky all those times, so fingers crossed for you. But yeah, let me know what your guys' plans are, how many jewels you have, and if you're not going for these guys, what are you saving for? I know TVA are coming out very soon, and they're really cool, but again, the same problem of like EX medals are just such a low chance of getting them. It's, you know, you want to avoid the heartbreak, but anyway, let me know what your plans are, guys. And one last thing, happy Australia Day to all of you guys that are Australian, and if not, happy Australia Day to you anyway. You should come visit us sometimes. It's beautiful out here, beautiful. Anyway, I'm gonna go celebrate, have a barbecue. Maybe turn your screen upside down if you want to get the Australian experience for the day. And I'll see you guys later. All the best and good luck. Bye.